What did you learn about your team from the trip over the weekend?
Well, I think we learned that hitting's contagious. So when we get rolling, we're good, and I think at times we pressed a little bit, which hasn't been typical of this team. It just seems like we need to put all three phases together, and we still haven't done that consistently yet. So hopefully, we can turn the corner and do that coming up.
The work has been good. The team has been working hard. They've been getting their reps. What about the results haven't come yet for some of the players?
It's just been a combination of things. We've had pitchers are hitting spots and basically throwing ground balls, fly balls that we want. Defense hasn't quite been there, and at times defense has really flashed. We've held people down, but the run production hasn't been there. We've stranded runners, so it's hard to put your finger on one thing. It's just a player or two here and there that have made the difference. So very happy with the response in Mankato. I think we've battled from behind, and obviously when you're behind for us as a fast team, it's that can slow us down a little bit, right? If you're down by 3-4 runs, it's hard to steal bases, and you can't take the chances that you can, in an even score. So I think that's depressed our offense a little bit. But at the end of the day, the kids just have to trust their approach and carry themselves to confidence and get it done.
Talk about that game, too, against Mankato. You said hitting is contagious. Jamie Odlum and Lauren de Guzman both hit their first home runs of the year. You probably had to be very happy for them. And then next thing you know, the offense just explodes for 8 more runs.
Right, and that was, just Jekyll and Hyde, first game to second. And the first game, really 1 through 5 struggled, and then second game, they really came alive. So, it is contagious. By the same token, I think when you get runners on base, right, people aren't going to walk the next hitter, right? You get better pitches to hit. And I think a lot of it, pitch selection, at the end of the day, offensively, pitch selection has been a big deal for us. I think when we're disciplined there and aggressive in the zone, right, good things happen. And when we expand, we're going to struggle. And I think that's the case for any ball player.
And so you talk to that. What is going behind trying not to expand the zone? Try to keep that pitch and get the pitch that you can hit. What really do they have to focus on moving forward?
I think early pitch recognition. We talk a lot about kind of cutting the plate in half and just knowing your profile as a hitter, right, and not expanding. And then I think pressing is trying too hard, trying to do too much in one at bat, and and that can lead to problems, right? If you're trying to do too much as a hitter, right? And really, I think it's just getting your A swing off on a good pitch and trying to keep things really simple.
Talk about the pitching. I know the second end of that doubleheader against Concordia-St. Paul, obviously numbers that you don't like to see from your pitching staff, but talk about them as a whole for the weekend. What do you see from them? What do they need to improve on? What did they gain from this big trip?
I think the big thing is we gave them too many outs, and with all due respect, tip the cap to Concordia because they can hit, very well coached. They can always hit. And you've got to get ahead. And we fell behind a lot. A couple of our pitchers fell behind consistently, and you're just going to pay against a good hitting team when you do that. That said, I think we also we served up ground balls we needed them and just didn't make plays defensively. So it's hard to generalize pitching because we did some really good things too. It's just when we really needed that big defensive play, which we've gotten, in the first month of the season, we just didn't get it on Saturday.
What have you seen from Gabby Doddick that led to her making her second start of the year for you guys?
She's really been consistent. Every time out, you get the same kid, and that's really nice. Like I said, she gets out there and she's gonna give us what we want, and she has. We just have to respond better defensively. So she pitched well. Quite honestly, she pitched well enough to win in the first game. If we make a couple plays, it's a very different ball game.
And when a player is going through a slight struggle in the circle, is it just repetition to try and get them back, or what do you tell them to try and motivate them to try and get that stuff back?
Yeah, I think really it's just playing one pitch at a time and really just trying to dominate half the plate, right? As a pitcher, getting ahead and then working your strengths, and I've got to be better in terms of managing my staff and putting kids in a position to succeed. And I wasn't real happy with my job there on Saturday. I could have done better there.
So you hit back on the road again, back to Minnesota against Minnesota State Moorhead. What is the early impressions of what you'll be facing against the Dragons?
Yeah, Reese Stahl's a freshman. I know her, Minnesota kid that I've seen over the years. It's a decent rise ball. So again, she's a kid that's going to, she'll lead hitters to get themselves out, and then Lang is a really good curveball, right? So I think zone discipline and really just be able to make adjustments, right, and leverage our strengths against their strengths is going to be really important.
And so going back to Minnesota, what kind of challenges do another road trip after you already spent the weekend there, what do those present for your players?
I think, it's a day trip for us, so, pretty easy, 3.5-hour drive to Moorhead. So I think the big thing is just trying to keep kids in a regular rhythm, right? Something akin to what they're normally doing on a school day in terms of when they're waking up and when they're practicing or playing. So don't anticipate any problems there. They've been really good that way. Again, I thought our energy was good on the road this last weekend, and I'd expect the same on Wednesday.
So you're kind of at the halfway point. You've played 20 games. What is your overall impression of where you're going forward?
Yeah, it's hard because we just have to be more consistent, right? We've seen flashes of really good offense, flashes of really good defense, flashes of really good pitching. We just have to put it's trite, it's overused, but we have to put all three phases together.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks.